Welcome to Everyday Martial Artist, a weekly podcast where you'll join me, Brian Doucette, as I interview a different martial artist each episode and hear their story. Some guests you may have heard of, and some you probably haven't. Be sure to subscribe where all your favorite podcasts are available. Also visit our website at everydaymartialartist.com. If you're listening for a specific interview, I sure hope you'll stay and check out the other episodes. A very special thank you to Topher Williams for our custom theme music. And now, the newest episode of Everyday Martial Artist. Everyday Martial Artist is brought to you by KOOnline.com for all your martial arts needs. Sparring and safety gear, rank belts, uniforms, weapons, patches, and more. Wholesale supplies made by martial artists for martial artists. Visit us today at ko-online.com. Hello and welcome to Everyday Martial Artist. I'm your host, Brian Doucette, and as we do every week, we're joined by a brand new guest talking about their life and their journey throughout the world of martial arts and sometimes other stuff they're involved in. My guest today started his martial arts training in the 90s. Throughout his journey, he has trained in Chinese Kempo, American Kempo, Capoeira, boxing, Hapkido, Taekwondo, Muay Thai, and BJJ. He's a U.S. Army veteran, originally from San Diego, but now calls Dallas-Fort Worth home. He's married, has 2 dogs, a beta, and a hamster. He's a host of the My Empty Hands podcast and enjoys movies, video games, and technology. Kind of sounds like me. Please welcome my guest today, Mr. Reggie Darden. How you doing today, Reggie?
Oh, I am super excited. This is like a dream moment for me since I've listened to all of your episodes, some more than once. And yeah, I am super excited to be on, and thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, thank you for all the support and the listening, and for a lot of the listeners who maybe don't know this, Reggie has probably referred me well over 20 guests by now. He's probably got the lead from all my referrals. So
those are rookie numbers. I need to pump those numbers up.
Yeah, well, I still have more that I haven't actually reached out to. You probably sent me over 40.
Oh, okay.
Probably 20 that I've actually connected with and talked to and interviewed and stuff. But and I know we've been talking about having you on the show for a while, and I finally was able to make it work and had a little bit of break in between all my other interviews I already had scheduled and stuff. And I think this is my 6th or 7th one this week, so it's another busy week. But I'm looking forward to this one, man. Like I said, we've been chatting for a couple of years now, and I was honored to be a guest on your podcast already. I'm like, well, we better get you on mine now finally. So since we've been talking about it, and obviously you know what we do here, so you know how to kick it off. Let's go back to the beginning. You tell me how it started. You tell me where that spark came from, kind of how your martial arts journey started.
Well, yeah, so I, like many others, I grew up watching the Black Belt Theater and the Kung Fu Theater and watching the Shaw Brother movies and Bruce Lee movies and Jackie Chan movies as a young person. And I was always interested in getting into the arts. And, you kind of mimic the moves on the movies and think that you can do them, and didn't actually get to train for quite a number of years now. I can't verify this. I don't have any valid hard proof, but my father claimed that he was a bodyguard for Muhammad Ali at one point.
Really?
And he said that the other guys that were with him, this is in the 70s, and martial arts, getting real popular here in the States. And he said that the other guys were talking about, oh, well, I can, punch a guy and pull his heart out and show it to him before they die. And just all this kind of talk around doing karate and killing people. That gave my father a really bad taste in his mouth for martial arts and for karate. Okay. So, my young, 5, 6, 7-year-old self trying to convince him to let me join just didn't work out so well. But I would just kind of get into whatever I could, and had some friends that did Taekwondo and things like that, and we'd go out to the park or go out into the backyard and just kind of work on some kicks and things like that, and so I would just get in as much as I could. And it kills me that I don't know the name of it, but there is a book that I used to check out from the library. And for all you young kids out there, back in the day, there was a little card catalog and a little thing that you put in the front of the books where you marked down when you checked it out and when you returned it. And in this particular book, on the front and back of this card, my name was the only one on there.
I love it. That's awesome.
Just I would check it out, bring it back. It would be back in the library for about a week, and then I would check it out again. And
That's awesome.
But in this book, it kind of talked about kung fu and karate, and it had some illustrations of some different stances, and I remember that there was this like tiger stance, and it was kind of a real low stance, and I would get into that pose, and there was the crane stance, and I would almost like the Karate Kid crane kick pose, and so I would just kind of mimic those and just kind of do whatever I could and just absorb whatever I could.
That's cool.
Then kind of, fast forward to, I guess I was around 14.
Mm-hmm.
My best buddy and we saw the movie that would change our lives forever, The Perfect Weapon, featuring Jeff Speakman.
Nice.
And
I love it.
We just saw that movie and just our eyes just blew out of our heads, and we're like, what is this? What is this guy doing? This is amazing. We need to get all over this. And I just happened to remember seeing in the beginning of the movie when Jeff Speakman's character goes to the school, and I remember seeing the sign that said Kempo Karate.
Mm-hmm.
It said
Master Po is Kempo Karate.
Yep.
Yep.
I was like, I think they're doing Kempo. So right away we went and found a school and got signed up. Well, my friend got signed up first. My father was still not for the Kempo thing.
Wow.
So my friend signed up first, and he was training at the school probably maybe 6 months or maybe a year before I finally got the green light to train. But I actually was at the school every day before they opened till after they closed. I was sitting in the school, watched every single class.
Nice.
5 days a week I was there. And so I would just kind of absorb what I could. And then my friend would sneak out and teach me things on the weekends. And I was just loving it. So once I got kind of a nice buildup of techniques and kicks and punches and all that good stuff, finally got the green light to join myself, and the love affair was born, and I just couldn't get enough, and I was training at the school every day and just loving it.
Did you ever ask your dad like what made him change his mind?
No. I think he just got tired of me asking him all the time. I think he was just like, oh, if this will get him out of the house and get him away from me. So I think a big part of it was just, so I have three other older brothers, and they are all sports guys.
Okay.
They know all about the sports ball, and and I don't know what it is. I never got that gene for sports, for doing anything like that. I didn't ever really have any interest in watching them or playing them or anything like that. And my father wanted me desperately to get into football because I'm a rather large guy. So he figured that, like football, that's where I need to be. And I just couldn't get into it. So I think finally going, hey, here's a physical activity that I can do. I think maybe that idea maybe kind of wore him down a little bit, and he let me sign up. So.
And which style of Kempo was that, and how long did you stay at that school?
So it was technically called Chinese Kempo,
okay.
But the curriculum was essentially that of the Tracy brothers form of Kempo. So my teacher's teacher was a student of the Tracy brothers. So that was the curriculum. And I was there, I guess about 2 or 3 years before I left for the Army.
Okay.
And I got about halfway to my third brown belt when I left for the Army.
And did you do any tournaments during that time when you were there?
Did a few local ones. I was pretty terrible at every tournament. I only did sparring, and I was really bad at that. I probably did maybe a handful of tournaments.
More than me.
I'm pretty sure I got disqualified on every single one.
Wow.
Being a Kempo school, groin kicks were totally fine, but being in a kind of normal open tournament, they're not so much of a fan of groin kicks and headshots.
Mm-hmm.
And So one of my go-tos and kind of one of our school's kind of go-tos was the California Blitz. And it was kind of a back knuckle, kind of a rushing in back knuckle. And so I would throw that back. My kind of thing was a back knuckle to the head and then kind of a reverse punch to the body. And, I'd go and I have pretty good control. At least I'd like to believe I had pretty good control back in the day. And I would throw those, going for my blitz and hit that back knuckle, and the judges be like, "Oh no, can't hit him in the head, can't hit him in the face." And even in my young teenage mind, I would think, we are doing martial arts, right? This is a combat sport. Why is hitting to the head not allowed? I mean, they've got headgear on, they've got a mouthpiece in. What's the point? What's the problem? But so yeah, I would throw my little combination. I'd get the warning, and then the body, mind, muscle memory would take over, and I would do it again, and I'd get kicked out, and it's like, well, that's I guess I'm not cut out for this tournament fighting thing, and so
I get that.
Didn't do that. Didn't get into the forms competition part of it because at the time I wasn't at the high enough belt to do the really cool forms.
Okay.
So I never entered into a forms division, and then weapons we didn't get. I wasn't at a high enough level to do weapon stuff. So
okay.
Kept my my little tournament career short and sweet.
That's okay. And then during your military, first of all, how long were you in the military? And then did you do any studying martial arts while you were in the military?
Yes, I was in the military about 3 years.
Okay.
And after I got through basic training and the training school and got to my post, I mean, I still had this love for training and whatnot. And so I did try to seek out a school, and I did find a teacher that was teaching on the base, and he taught both Hapkido and Taekwondo.
Okay.
I believe it was ITF style, but I don't know. I can't remember for sure.
Okay.
But I started training with him, and even though it wasn't my beloved Kempo, so the perfect weapon kind of, I guess, for some reason I had this feeling like there was some kind of rivalry between Taekwondo and Kempo because of that movie. So I was always very kind of against getting into Taekwondo. This was kind of the only game in town, so I started training with them, and was having some good training there. I actually remember one day we were sparring, and this guy came in, and he was a judo guy, and we were just kind of going, and he was good fair amount shorter than I was, and still pretty good sized guy, but I was still pretty much bigger than him. And we're kind of going around sparring, and he grabs me, and I don't know the name of it, but basically he grabbed my gi and rolled down on his back and just flipped me, and I just went sailing, and I'm a big guy, and for me to just kind of just sail like I was nothing, it would definitely gave me an early taste to the goodness of grappling. So
nice. And how long were you able to train with the gentleman teaching Hapkido and Taekwondo?
Unfortunately, since the unit that I was part of is what they consider a rapid deployment unit, so we would go out to training a lot. So I was missing a lot of classes, but I guess I was probably there about a year.
Okay.
Maybe a year and change. Yeah, I just got to the point where I was just missing so many classes that I decided, I need to stop just throwing my money away. So I stopped paying for classes and stopped going.
Okay.
But I did happen to get involved in boxing while I was there. So
cool.
They were doing tryouts for the Army boxing team.
Nice.
And I figured, I got some martial arts experience. I can maybe do this boxing thing. And the other kind of benefit to that was that if you're going to boxing training, then you don't have to go to PT. And I hate running. I'm terrible at running. And the unit I was in, that's all we do is run. And like 8-mile runs are like warm-up runs.
Yuck.
So, if boxing will get me out of running, sign me up. So yeah, I got with the boxing coach and did the boxing training, and that was just amazing. Training boxing is is so much different than doing karate or kung fu or anything like that. And just, there's so much more to it.
Such a good workout too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially in our training is that as soon as class starts, it doesn't stop. You don't stop 1 second until the class is over. So we kind of did these kind of alternating rounds to where if you're, working on a particular technique or shadow boxing or something like that, half the group is doing whatever kind of techniques. And then the other half, you're doing push-ups, or you're doing medicine balls, or you're doing something, and then the round timer goes off, and then the sides switch. So there's never a point where you're just stopped waiting for anything or getting a drink or anything like you're going the whole time. So
nice.
So yeah, that was really just intense training and loved every minute of it. I didn't have any desire to actually compete or anything like that. I just did the training. I wasn't worried about trying to make the team or anything like that. I just did the training while that was available. And loved every second of it.
And was that then until you got out of the Army?
Yes. Yeah. I did that. I guess it was probably about another year worth of that. And then got out of the Army and decided not to move back to San Diego. So I moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth area and started life anew there. And once I got here, I had that hunger to train again and started trying to find schools. But once again, I still had that, I don't want to do Taekwondo. I want to do Kempo. I really want to do Kempo with my teacher, but since he's there and I'm here, that's not going to happen. So I started looking around schools, and a lot of the schools that I saw, it was very... I hesitate to say McDojo style, but just very, you could tell that the instructors were just there for the paycheck. However meager that was, they weren't into it for the art. It took me a while going through schools, and I just never kind of found anything that really scratched that itch. So I just kind of did little things on my own here and there, go to the gym and just kind of, hit the bags and stuff like that, and kind of do little things on my own, but just didn't really find a school to get involved with. And then I did my revisiting of another movie that changed my life, and that movie was Only the Strong.
Nice.
The Capoeira movie, as as folks like to call it, and saw that and was like, oh my God, oh yeah, that was the other style that I wanted to get involved with. And so I thought, well, maybe I should kind of look around and see if I can find anything. And it took a little while, but I did find a capoeira school in Dallas. However, the timing wasn't good because I found it about a week before I moved to Reno.
Oh, okay.
And so when I moved to Reno, capoeira was still on the mind, so I searched it out and surprisingly found someone that was teaching and went down to go check it out. And just immediately watching the class, I was like, yes, this is where I need to be. And got signed up and started that part of the journey.
Nice. And how was that? I mean, because you told me, first of all, you said you're a big guy. I know myself, I'm a bigger guy too. So I always was afraid to try capoeira because I thought it would not be good for my knees with me being a big guy. So was that ever a concern, or did you just jump right in and start doing it?
Surprisingly, that it didn't. I never really had that kind of fear for doing that. Big props to one Sammo Hung representing for us big guys.
Yes. Love Sammo.
Figured if he can do the things that he can do, I can get around and do a cartwheel or two. So
that man defies gravity, man. That's insane what he does.
Oh yeah. I mean, I still watch his movies and I'm just like, it's like nothing. It's not enough that he can do it, but that he makes it look so effortless.
Yeah.
That I just, kind of jumped right into it. And I think a big part of it too was just, I could tell that the teacher cared about the students and the art and everything. And I felt that he would be able to help me if I got into kind of any struggles with learning. But yeah, I was just so excited to be able to do it. No, I never really thought about, oh, well, they're doing a cartwheel, and my big butt gonna do that. But you just get into the energy of it is so exciting, and the feeling of it, and kind of like anything, there's a progression.
Yeah.
For the most part, you're not doing backflips on the first day. However,
good.
However, the first class, I do remember that I was in the class, and the instructor's like, okay, like now we're going to do our handstands. And I had never done a handstand before. And it also probably didn't help that I had a nice big bowl of chili before before class. And doing handstands with a stomach full of chili is not a good idea.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Wow.
Yeah, that was a little rough, but made it through, and just kept showing up for class, and any time that we could train, we'd kind of have our little classes at the park and stuff, and just kind of any time I could get involved with that, I was there. So.
And how long were you in Reno?
Let's see, I was in Reno from. I would say from about 99 until 2016.
Oh, wow. And did you ever look for another Kempo school while you were there, or did you focus mainly on capoeira?
I was just all in on capoeira. Yeah, it was like Kempo what? Like, no, it was,
Wow.
It was
okay.
Capoeira. I just completely fell into that. And,
that's cool.
I had a little bit there was a Wing Chun school that I almost went to go check out, and it was just like, oh, like maybe I might want to kind of supplement my training with this. But yeah, no, it was just all capoeira all day, all night.
That's cool. At any point, I mean, you were there a long time. Did you ever get into the teaching side of that?
Yes. I mean, I always wanted to be a teacher. Even back when I was doing the Kempo stuff, I actually would have gotten into the instructor's program, but since I knew I was leaving for the Army, I didn't go that route. But I had always wanted to do it, but it didn't get to manifest until I got to the capoeira side, and I fell into it because as much as my instructor was a great guy and a great teacher, he got a little flaky. So I describe him as I don't know, kind of a hippie free spirit type.
Okay.
In that when the summertime would come around, he would just disappear. And I remember coming to class, and we're all kind of standing around, and it's like, oh, well, like, where's the instructor? Oh, he's not here. Well, let's call him. Let's text him. No, he's not answering his phone, not answering his text. So, oh, okay, well, what's going on here? So we're just kind of looking at each other, and there was one other guy in the class that he had maybe 6 months, maybe a year more capoeira training than I did.
Okay.
And so we would, of course, look to him. He's the most senior student. Like, okay, well, you teach the class. And he was not interested in that. He was not about that life. So it's like, well, what are we going to do? So since I was the next one in line, and I had kind of I was the one that had the most martial arts experience,
okay,
but the second most capoeira experience. So I was like, well, I guess I will lead the class. And so we had many classes where we were still doing capoeira, but it was supplemented with a lot of karate drills, a lot of karate kicking drills. And fortunately, my Kempo instructor had a lot of experience with Taekwondo. And so as far as Kempo schools go, we were much more proficient kickers than most Kempo schools. So,
nice.
So yeah, I was kind of able to fake it until I made it, filling in the classes when the instructor wasn't there. And, summer would be over, and he would come back, and just kind of everything would just kind of go as normal. And then the next year would come around, and summertime comes around, and he just disappears. So kind of over the years, I kind of became more and more the leader of the group. And at the kind of same time, we were part of the bigger capoeira organization.
Mm-hmm.
So we were connecting with the teachers. Kind of the mothership school is in Berkeley, California, and so we were connecting with the teachers there, and a teacher in Sacramento. So I was getting the other bits and pieces that that I needed to kind of help keep the group going, keep the school going from, the actual teachers. So yeah, just kind of more and more, I kind of became more in charge of the group. And then it kind of got to a point where my instructor just kind of stopped altogether, and I was then running the group. So yeah, I guess I was probably running that group probably about a good 10 years or so before the job market in Reno wasn't working out for me, and had some opportunities here in Dallas. So I decided to move back, and yeah, it was hard leaving a group, but unfortunately, Capoeira was not paying any bills. It's actually spending more money trying to keep that going than than I was making. So, but yeah, I came to Dallas, and I still wanted to teach, but unfortunately, I guess I had, I don't know, I guess you could kind of say maybe imposter syndrome or something along those lines, in that in Reno, I was the only game in town. But here in Dallas, there are a few capoeira schools here, and they have, actual quote unquote real teachers. So I was very intimidated about trying to quote unquote compete with them. So I would come and kind of visit the other schools here aren't part of the same organization that I was. So I would just come in as a visitor and come to classes here and there, but I didn't want to actually join any of the other organizations here. So I didn't. I just kind of did my own thing for a while, and just would kind of visit the schools here and there, and just kind of keep things going for a while. Mm-hmm. And then kind of a few years in, I kind of had a dual epiphany or revelation kind of hit me. I had been dreaming about teaching classes and stuff, and then I started having dreams again about doing Kempo again, and I felt that was some kind of sign. So I went to my capoeira teachers and said, hey, I want to kind of recommit myself into the training, and I want to try and start up a group here and kind of get things going. And kind of got the blessing, and actually got promoted again. 10 years in the same belt. I finally got to move up to the next level, so that was exciting, and
cool.
Started trying to kind of make something happen with that. And then on the same time, I just kept thinking about Kempo again, and of course doing my rewatching, my yearly, monthly rewatching of The Perfect Weapon. I was like, you know what, I got to find some Kempo again. And so then I got on the hunt to find a Kempo school, and did some searching. Went into one school that will remain nameless, but I was quite shocked and appalled at what I saw at the school in terms of the teacher was really good, but the students were not so much. And so I said, I'm not going to train here, which was kind of a shame, because the teacher is kind of a well-known teacher, or at least I knew of him from back in the day, the Panther production videos. And I was really kind of shocked to see what I was seeing, but I stuck it out, and I found a American Kempo school, and liked the cut of the teacher's jib, and got signed up, and was real excited about that. Less excited that I had to start over again as a white belt. Mm-hmm. But it was good. I needed it though, because this was an Ed Parker American Kempo version, so the curriculum was different. Even though we shared a lot of the same techniques, the curriculum was very different. So yeah, I really was a white belt as far as the knowledge base was concerned. So got started over, and just enjoying the training from there, and just trying to kind of learn all that I could.
Nice. And how long have you been doing the Kempo now, and are you still teaching the capoeira?
So let's see. I've been at the Kempo school, I guess it's been about 3 years now.
Very cool.
3.5 years maybe. Okay. Unfortunately, my instructor had to close the school in December, but we are still doing lessons in our garages and at the park and whatnot. As far as the capoeira side, I have made some attempts to get a school going. As of yet, it hasn't materialized, but I am strongly trying to get my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor to let me have some intro classes at the school. So
Nice.
fingers crossed that we can perhaps make that happen.
Okay. That's cool. I mean,
so yeah, I'm still doing
you're staying
that.
busy in the martial arts. I love it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's one of these things that I can't get enough of it. You would think that, oh, well, I'm doing Kempo at least a couple of times a week, and then Capoeira, not as much as I would like to, but I try and keep a semi-regular schedule with that. And then it's like, oh, well, you know what? There's a Hapkido school out here. Let me go hit that up. And so I got signed up with that, and then it's like, oh, well, now here's this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, and they also do Muay Thai there, and let me go ahead and get signed up for that too. So I'm doing all of that, and then working, and then if I don't have enough to do, I was like, oh yeah, let me start a podcast too. So
I'm scared because now that my youngest has just graduated and I won't have to be running around to school events, I think that could end up being, I mean, if I can actually find the free time, start going. I mean, I unfortunately, I don't have a local capoeira school. I don't have really a local Kempo school. Years ago, there was a gentleman who claimed to be a sixth degree in Kempo, and went to one of his seminars and actually recorded it. Got permission to record it. And I sent the video to Larry Tatum, because that's who I knew when I lived in California. And he responded back after watching about 10 minutes of it. He goes, I don't know what the hell that guy's teaching, but it's not Kempo. So never went back to that school.
Yeah, no, unfortunately there is a, well, like the Kempo school that I mentioned. Yep. I mean, this person is kind of up there on the food chain, and we don't have to bring it up online here, but yeah, I've got some stories about this person that is very, very similar to what you mentioned with Larry Tatum. So
nice. We'll have to chat off mic then sometime. But so you mentioned the podcast. Talk about that. Kind of what led to that. What made you decide to do it? Why did you want to do it? Kind of just tell that story and talk about a few of the guests you've had and some things maybe you've learned from doing the podcast and that you enjoy.
Well, I've actually kind of always had a little bit of a desire to do a podcast. I mainly wanted to do a kind of like a pop culture, kind of a movie review type podcast. When I was living in Reno, some friends of mine had a little YouTube kind of review show, and they would talk about Breaking Bad and Dexter and things like that. And I would be a guest kind of on there a few times, and so I thought that was kind of interesting. So it was kind of always in the back of my mind. But the thing that really kind of pushed it over the edge was your show.
Oh wow!
I was in the need of a podcast that I had kind of always listened, a non-martial arts podcast that I had always listened to. They kind of stopped being interesting, and so I needed to find a new podcast to listen to. And I thought, oh well, since I'm training again, let me find a martial arts podcast. And I stumbled on to your show, and I also stumbled on to the Mind Sensei podcast with Peter Taz.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay, this sounds good. I like this. With your show, I was just kind of blown away. That it was like, hey, like this is a martial arts show, and he's talking to people like, I've heard of this person, I've heard of this person. Like, oh man, this is awesome. And just hearing all the great stories. I just love hearing people's stories about how they trained, how they got into things, and then for the actors and stunt people and those, I love hearing kind of those Hollywood stories. And I mean, when you listen to these stories of how movies and television shows get made, it's unbelievable that anything gets made with all of the Hollywood red tape and just nonsense that goes on, and studio execs and bean counters and things like that, pushback against these creative visions and things like that. And it's just some of these stories, I just can't believe that anything gets made. So but yeah, just hearing your show really got me excited for it. And then it's just like, oh, well, you can send me an email for people that you'd like to be a guest. It's like, oh, well, I know a lot of people that I just want to hear their story. And so I would just, send you names. And even though I'm an extremely patient guy, I get a little impatient about, hey, like, you need to talk to my friend or talk to this person that I've heard of, and just waiting around for you to get to them. I got a little impatient, so I was like, you know what, maybe I should try to start this podcast thing. So yeah, listening to your show and Peter Taz, when I realized that Peter Taz was talking to Kempo people primarily, I said, okay, well, maybe I should kind of start a show and kind of focus on Kempo people. And originally, I kind of had the idea of, oh, well, I'm going to do a Kempo show and I'm going to do a capoeira show. And now, after doing this podcasting thing for a while, that's a lot of work. So I decided, well, I will go ahead and just mix non-Kempo people into the feed once in a while. I'm part of a Kempo Facebook group, and sorry, internet folks, the internet folks like to fight and whatnot. But when I was starting the show, I posted on the group. I was like, oh, well, I want to start a show, and is there anybody that may want to be on the show? And I basically kind of ran everything by the group. I was like, okay, well, let me think of a name and put up a poll. And you always think that your ideas are always great, and then when you put it out to the internet, and they're not so much fans of. I mean, all the titles I came up with, they shot all of those down. And then I was like, oh, well, I want to primarily have Kempo people on, but maybe would it be okay if I had some non-Kempo people on from time to time? And most of the group was like, no, only Kempo people. Like, we don't have time. I was like, well, that's no fun. I mean, I want to talk to some other people. So I had to get over the trying to please everybody, and decided to do my own thing. And but I got some helpful tips from you. And you know what? As much as I hate seeing myself and hearing myself, I'm going to go ahead and get this show kicked off. And I figured that, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll, talk to maybe some of my friends and things like that. And maybe I'll get lucky and some big time person might come along, and I might get lucky and get one or two. But when I put out the call for guests, right away, some big names in Kempo were like, yeah, I'll be on. And I couldn't believe it. Right off the bat, like Tom Bleeker, Lee Wedlake, just early people that agreed to be on. So Chuck Sullivan. And so I just hit the ground running, and I've been just really, really thankful and pleasantly surprised that people keep saying yes. And the show has been going better than I could have ever imagined. And getting to talk to not just Kempo people, but people from other arts. You and I have shared a number of guests, and Peter Taz also, which I love him to death, but I kind of had to shake my fist at him a little bit, because there was a period of a few months back where just about every time I was about to put out an episode with a particular guest, he put out an episode with that guest. And I know it's not a competition or anything like that, but I was like, right, I can't put out this episode if he just put out that episode at the same time. So I've had to shuffle a few around. It was like 4 or 5 in a row that that he did that. So it's all good. But I've just been. I can't believe getting to interview Jeff Speakman. Like, if you would have went to a teenage me and said, oh, you're going to talk to Jeff Speakman, you're going to talk to Karen Shepard, you're going to talk to Ed Parker Jr. on your own show, I would have been like, okay, stop taking drugs, stop drinking. Like, I cannot believe the support. And and I love doing it. I love hearing the stories. I love meeting people, and it's a joy that just keeps on giving. So
that's awesome. So do you have a specific set schedule when episodes come out, and where's the best way for people to listen?
Well, I try and do at least one episode a week. As we've talked before, I just couldn't believe the response as far as people saying yes to stuff. So, I mean, in the first couple of months, there were days where I did 4 or 5 interviews in one day,
Yep.
3 or 4 times in 1 week. So, I mean, the day that I interviewed Jeff Speakman, I got to interview Ed Parker Jr. like right after that. And then blanking on who else. There was another big name person that I had that day.
Nice.
And then I had another 3 or 4 the next day. But so far I've been able to do at least one episode a week. There have been weeks where I've done 2 or 3 episodes in a week, released that. So,
okay.
But I'm trying to. One of the things about it is I get so excited for talking to people that it's like I want to release them all at once, but I can't do that. And so
you gotta keep the show going, so you don't want to do that.
Exactly. So, one episode a week, and it's on all the podcast platforms or on my website, myemptyhands.net. And I'm just going to keep the train going as long as people will say yes. I actually did technically record my first video episode. The show's audio only, but I did do a video episode. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to redo it because my camera decided to crash midway through the recording, but working on trying to re-interview a man by the name of Garrett Scott.
Okay.
He is the first deaf American black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Nice.
And he's just got a great story, and just the fates aligned in that my wife actually has a connection with his family, and it's like, oh, well, hey, maybe you might want to have this guy on your show. And being that he's deaf, that's definitely going to be a challenge, but we'll figure it out. And we figured it out, and we had a great interview. So I'm looking forward to getting to talk to him again and get that out.
Nice. So knowing that your episode here is not coming out until August, is there a couple of your upcoming episodes that will have already been aired by the time this one comes out that you want to mention?
Let's see. Well, next week I'm going to put out the episode with Karen Shepard.
Nice. She's awesome.
So, oh my God.
Such a sweetheart.
It was such a struggle to contain it to an hour show. I mean, I could easily talk to her for hours and hours and hours and hours.
See, I don't put a time limit on mine unless they get out of hand. My interview last night went an hour 45. So that's going to be about a 6-hour edit. So that'll be fun.
Oh yeah. I don't envy you. I like to say that the only thing that hits the cutting room floor are the bottoms of my feet. So,
I mean, most of mine is just like pauses and stuff, or maybe if there's a few too many but as far as like content, I don't take anything out, with very, very few exceptions. I had one gentleman who went 2 hours and 20 minutes. Some of his side stories had nothing to do with martial arts at all. It was just went off completely. And some of those I smoothed down a little bit. I think I got it to just under 2 hours. It didn't lose any of the actual martial arts content that was good and stuff. And a few times people I've had go on like political rants, and I don't want politics on my show. So I've edited some of that stuff out, but mostly it's just making it sound smoother, cutting out the ums, the ahs and stuff. And
yeah, I can relate. I did have one guest, lovely guest, and it was still a great episode. I'm not going to say who, but they did say some questionable things that I had to take out. They weren't bad, but maybe they could have been viewed in a light that was not great.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I'm going to play it safe here and take that out. Other than that, I try not to take out too much from the shows.
I've had 2 full episodes I've never aired, 2 whole other stories that I'll tell you sometime. But that sucks to go through all the work, get everything done, fully edit it, and then not release the episode. Yeah,
no, I've only had one, and that was just because their audio issues just couldn't save it audio wise. So other than that, everyone I've been able to get out. I'm just trying to think of who I have coming up. I've released ones with Keith Cook already, Jeff Speakman, trying to think of who I have. I am working on interviewing Paul Herzog.
Oh, cool.
Who did the music for Bloodsport and Kickboxer and a number of other movies. So
Nice.
I did get a yes from him, but he was like, I'm actually working on 2 movies back to back right now. So he's like, he's in his 70s. Like, who ever thought I'd be working so much in my 70s? So yeah, it's just been exciting to everybody that's agreed to be on. So I've got a super huge one that is mentioned to you before that I've got a soft yes on, but I need to push on them a little bit more. I'll tell you offline because I don't want to jinx it. But
yeah, no, I get that.
But yeah,
I definitely have some I haven't mentioned that I'm working on also. But and I probably have about 30 maybes or soft yeses that I just haven't locked down and scheduled yet. My panic is that they're going to all come through like the same week or something.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm calling in sick this week and I'm just going to do nothing but podcast interviews. So we will see.
Very nice.
All right. So what about a martial arts philosophy that's super important to you?
I will use the one of don't do as I say, do what I want.
Okay.
So one of the big inspirations and one of the teachers in my capoeira journey is a man by the name of Mestre Cordion. He is the top of the food chain as far as capoeira goes. He's pretty much the reason why capoeira exists in the United States. He would teach classes and we're doing things and he would just say, we wouldn't do the technique as maybe he's telling us to do, and he would just say, don't do what I say, do what I want. And you would think that wouldn't make any sense, but he says it and it just clicks into focus and it makes perfect sense. So I would think that that's probably the one to go by.
Okay, that's a good one. All right, how about worst martial arts related injury?
Well, I had been trying to think about that and I was thinking, oh man, I don't think I really have one. I mean, I have kind of the normal bruises and scrapes and such. There was one that comes to mind in that hurt both of my knees pretty bad in was at a workshop, a capoeira workshop, and working with my partner, and we were doing this move where you're dodging this kick by kind of essentially rolling over their back. And as I was rolling over this guy's back, he kind of stood up. And so I just fell just straight down on both of my knees. And it was pretty excruciating, but I didn't break anything or anything. But unfortunately, I thought it was a good idea to kind of continue this workshop. There was all these we have in capoeira, we have this event and where we're doing all these kind of workshops and then there's a ceremony and things like that. And at this particular time, there was 2 of these events back to back and I injured my knees early on and then continued to go to workshops and event and the ceremony. And then a couple of days after that was over, went to the next event and went through all the workshops and the ceremony and stuff. So that was probably not a great idea, but I had so much fun and nothing really serious, no broken bones or anything, knock on wood, but things kind of bent a little bit the wrong way, especially recently in my jiu-jitsu journey. Got manhandled pretty good, and so now my got some elbows and knees that are acting a little funny, but nothing really serious on that.
Okay. All right. Time for the fun questions. I know you've been waiting for these ones. So what would your MMA walk-up music be? What song are you jamming to as you're walking into that cage?
So when you started introducing this question, I thought, it's so great question. And initially I agonized for a while on it, but now I've got ones. So I've got 3.
Okay.
I guess it kind of depends on the mood that I'm in, but the first one would be Sensitivity by Ralph Tresvant.
Okay.
If you got the cojones to walk into a cage with that playing, that's not a person I want to fight.
Ralph Tresvant, that's awesome. I love it.
So that would be the first one. The second one that comes to mind is You Should Be Dancing by the Bee Gees.
Very cool. Okay.
Now, so disco gets a bad rap, but I'm sorry, that song hits. You cannot listen to that song and not just be hyped up. If you're not, you need to have your vitals checked, because I'm sorry, that song hits.
I'm about to go into full disco mode in a few weeks here. My daughter's doing the show Mamma Mia in July. So it's all ABBA music. So I'll be jamming to disco for about 2 weeks. So
Nice. So yeah, You Should Be Dancing by the Bee Gees is the second one.
Okay.
And then the third one, and this is just if I'm really feeling, I'm not a cocky person, but if I'm feeling pretty cocky, the third one there is You Can't Win by Michael Jackson from the Wiz soundtrack.
Nice. I like it.
You hear that song coming in, yeah, be ready for some action. So.
I'm actually surprised. Yeah, I was expecting one of yours to be The Power by Snap.
You know, I try to stay away from being on the nose.
Yeah.
I kind of thought about that, but no, if I'm getting ready to fight, that's not going to do it for me. If I'm wanting to do some katas or something, then okay, maybe that'll work. But no,
Okay.
it's too much on the nose.
Right.
If I'm going to fight, I want to throw you off before I throw you down.
Nice. All right. How about your martial arts Mount Rushmore?
Okay, this, of course, is a very, very tough one. The way I had envisioned it when I first heard you asking this, I envisioned this as kind of each spot as kind of being like a totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
So like each person, and then you have your totem. So you have kind of your totem pole of, okay, this is the Kempo category, and then this is the movie personality or celebrity category, and then like, here's your capoeira one. But even doing that, there's still too many. So I'll just put out a few this time, and then I'll listen to this and I'll get mad that I didn't say whatever person later. But of course, Ed Parker.
Nice.
I mean, just way ahead of his time. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to have Ed Parker.
Yep.
I'm going to say Bruce Lee, not because I think he's the best. Sorry, internets. I do believe that he is a little overrated. However, his influence on the martial arts is undeniable, unquestionable. I mean, nobody probably in history has gotten so many people into the martial arts than him. So he goes on there for that, more so than the things that he's come up with or anything like that, which, sorry, internet, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but I'm kind of the mind that a lot of things that he gets credit for, I feel that he got from Ed Parker. You know, I'm putting it out there. I said it, you know, come fight me if you want to, but yeah. So Ed Parker, Bruce Lee, for sure. Mestre Accordion, Capoeira probably would not exist in the United States without him. So definitely Mestre Accordion. Along with that, Mestre Sueli. She is the first American woman to achieve the rank of Mestre in Capoeira, and she is truly an inspiration. So definitely her. Let's see. Oh gosh, I'm going to add Cynthia Rothrock on there.
Nice.
Just because, you know, we definitely have to give the ladies the love there. They definitely need some more representation, and watching her movies has always been a big inspiration for me as well. So I will put her on the list as well. And I know there's a ton of others that I should say, but I'm going to leave it there for right now, and just to keep that manageable for the time being.
That's good. Okay. All right. How about a favorite martial arts book?
This is kind of a tough one because I don't read nearly as much as I should. Mm-hmm. And like you, now that I'm doing the podcast and talking to people that have written books, I have a few from guests that I have not gotten through yet. Yep. But I will go ahead and say definitely Lessons with Ed Parker from Lee Wedlake. I mean, that was a great read. Oh, it really gives you the sense of what it was like to be with Ed Parker, as opposed to just, oh, well, he came up with this thing, and now you got to kind of copy paste, follow that. It was just more like, what was he like being as a person? So definitely that book that I used to check out from the library that unfortunately I don't know the name, but just from the sheer amount of times that I went through that book, if I ever can find it, I know what it looked like if I saw it. So I would mention that. I'll also go ahead and throw in the Masters. I believe it's the Masters Kick and the supplemental the Masters Jumping Kick by Heel Cho.
Nice. Yes.
That it's actually sitting on my coffee table right now. I just love looking at that book and just going through all the wonderful kicking stuff that's in there. So. I'd say that as well. And, of course, I have to mention the Infinite Insights book at Parker.
Very cool. All right. How about a favorite martial arts video game?
Boy, this is also another tough one that I agonized over, but I have to give a dual recommendation for Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat 2.
Nice.
The sheer amount of hours and quarters and days of my life on those games, I would have a black belt in those games if I was any good at them. But definitely those. And then I also have to give out a very honorable mention to Sleeping Dogs. It is a game that is kind of a cross between Grand Theft Auto and a Hong Kong action flick.
Nice.
It's got great driving and shooting stuff and a lot of great fighting mechanics. Even has some nice kind of point break chase scene moments where you're not just watching a cut scene, but you're actually going through the streets of Hong Kong and running through markets and things like that. It is a really, really cool game, really, really cool story, and a lot of fun. So Sleeping Dogs.
All right. How about a favorite martial arts TV show?
Okay, so this one is sort of a three-way tie, but I will give the edge to Vanishing Sun.
Russell Wong. Yeah, I love it.
Man, that show, Russell Wong and that show just, that was my jam, especially because I was really, really hot and heavy into Kempo, and just seeing that show and just Russell Wong just made the screen sparkle with his amazingness. So that definitely gets the edge, but
it still holds up too.
Oh yeah.
Rewatch it, man. It still holds up. I recommend it to everyone.
I actually rewatched it. I somehow found a way to find it on the internet. So
nice.
Hopefully nobody's listening, but found a way to get it, and I just rewatched the whole series probably about a month ago. And
very cool.
Yeah, it's such a great show. It's so heartbroken that it didn't get more seasons, but
agreed.
That would be the top, and then it's going to be a tie between WMAC Masters and Mortal Kombat Conquest.
Okay.
I do have to, I guess, return my martial arts awesome card because I'm kicking myself. I promise that I will rectify this, so don't crucify me, but I have not watched Into the Badlands or Warrior yet.
Wow.
And I will rectify that very soon, but because I have not watched those yet, I will give the honorable mention to Mortal Kombat Conquest and WASC Masters because those also were kind of appointment viewing for young Reggie. So
yeah, you'll have to let me know after you watch those two. I'm really curious to get your input on those two. So awesome.
Yeah. Somehow they just kind of slipped up. I had heard about them and just somehow I just never got around to sitting and watching them. But
I get it.
Yeah, I will fix that.
All right. How about favorite martial arts movie?
Another one that I agonize over because there's so many great ones, but I'm going to cheat a little bit on this one. And in the 90s, there was a movie that when I saw it or first saw it, it was called The Deadliest Arts, but I guess at some point it was renamed to The Best of Martial Arts Films. And it was sort of a documentary clip show of a lot of the Golden Harvest movies, but it was narrated by John Saxton and had some great fight scenes from a lot of the Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Young Bio movies. Had a little Van Damme in it, had just a lot of great clips in it. So I will kind of cheat and use that one as my pick.
I actually remember that one. And it was funny. As soon as you mentioned it, I typed it into Amazon just to see if I could still buy the DVD. You can't, but there's one for sale for $589.80 on Amazon right now.
Oh, yeah,
I don't want to see it that bad.
No. I believe somebody ripped it to YouTube, so I
Okay.
think you can still see it on YouTube. And I may or may not have acquired it somewhere on the internet, but
There we go.
That's just alleged.
Final question. You know this one's coming. Favorite movie fight scene?
This one is so hard for a number of reasons. Before I give my answer, listening to your show, I always jump out of my seat a lot of times because many of the guests just name a movie and not a particular scene.
Yeah, I know.
And
Yep.
I kind of lose my mind a little bit. But gosh, this is so tough. But for me, I guess this also kind of depends on kind of what kind of feeling I'm in, as there's some scenes that I rewatch a lot. Well, I will throw out a few options here. One, I'm going to, sorry, internets, you're probably gonna want to fight me on this one, but in the movie Dragons Forever, Jackie Chan's fight with Benny Urquidez, I actually prefer that fight over the one in Wheels on Meals.
Yep.
Now, I always, you always, whenever anyone brings up the Wheels on Meals fight, it's like, oh, it was Mark the greatest, the greatest fight in martial arts, movies, whatever. It's great. I'm not knocking it. It is amazing, but I like the one in Dragons Forever more. So that one is definitely up there. You could pretty much pick any fight scene out of Drunken Master 2.
Yeah.
That movie is just all around amazing. But I will give a special shout out to the fight where they were fighting under the train. It's one thing to have a fight underneath a train, but to have a weapons fight underneath a train, like who does that? Who does that? So I definitely give a lot of love to that one. And then I was trying to, I did want to mention an American movie, and there's a lot. I mean, of course, the John Wick movies have great fight scenes. I do want to mention two. One, the knife antique store fight in John Wick 3.
Okay.
When I saw that in the theater, I lost my freaking mind. That fight is insanity. So I do love that one. And then another one, just because I've been thinking about it recently, probably not the best fight scene, but it just comes to, I just remember being kind of so surprised by it. But the end fight scene in Lethal Weapon 4 between Jet Li and Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, I just remember being so kind of shocked by it and just kind of the way that it plays out. I was just really, really surprised by that, and I didn't think it was going to go that way. So I'll just kind of throw that out there just because it's one of the current ones that I've been kind of thinking about.
Yeah. Well, Reggie, man, seriously, I'm glad we finally did this. This has been so much fun. I love your story. I love anytime I get to chat with you and stuff. I love getting your emails and everything. And definitely everyone needs to go and listen to my Empty Hands podcast because it's cool. Don't even worry about my episode. Listen to all the other good ones. There's so many other good ones out there. You don't have to listen to mine. But no, seriously, it's a great show, and I'm so glad you're doing it. And hopefully you'll continue to do it. Like hopefully you'll have your 4 or 5 year anniversary. Like I did, or I've had my 4.5 almost now. But
oh, nice.
Nice. I'm already starting to plan for my 300th episode. I'm only at like 230 right now, but I'm starting to plan for my 300th. I got a few big names I'm working on, so we'll see.
Ooh,
but,
excellent. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited. No, thank you so much for one, having me on. I've just been loving the show. I get excited every time I see an episode pop up each week. So I'm just excited for that. Thank you so much for your help, and I know I've bombarded you with questions about this podcasting stuff, and you've been an amazing help for that. So I just thank you so much for doing that. And then also for tolerating all the names that I keep sending to you. I try and restrain myself, but you're so much better at this than I am. So I was like, yeah, I need to get the pros on these people. So yeah, no, I just thank you so much for having me on and keep putting out the great stuff that you're doing.
Hey, same with you, man. This has been so much fun, and I can't wait to get the episode out, and you enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to Everyday Martial Artist. We hope you will join us every week for a brand new episode with a different martial artist telling their story. If you enjoy the show, be sure to leave us a review. Also, be sure to check out our website at everydaymartialartist.com. There you can find all of our episodes and contact us to suggest guests and ask questions. Again, thanks for listening to Everyday Martial Artist, and we'll see you next week.